take you off and just a look at some of the sky conditions around the area, impacted by all of that smoke. As we've heard so many times, when that smoke is essentially going up, even at night, that's a good sign. But when it does start marching down and we get a little bit of that foothill flow, that is a concern. That is a concern again tonight. We heard from the fire behavior analysts talking about the growths that have happened at night. So again, a lot to consider tonight. How does that downslope flow work? Air goes from areas of high pressure to low pressure, and that's exactly what's happening here. So those north to northeast winds, very dry, it has very little marine influence, 8 days of a Santa Ana wind event, and even though it hasn't been particularly strong, the mean or average wind has been out of the same direction for just too long to see relative humidity rebound. These are record low relative humidities in the air, and for fuels, it basically turns the grass into gasoline, which is what we've heard, exactly that quote from fire weather officials. Over the course of the day, we do get switchbacks. We do get those winds coming out of the southwest and south. It does start pushing up the valleys a little bit and up the coast, bringing some of that smoke into the Santa Maria area, the Lompoc area, as the landmass heats up. But again, the sun has gone down. That landmass is going to cool, and then the air starts going downslope, down through those passes and canyons, down towards Santa Barbara, the foothill country, Camino Cielo, all the areas they're fighting. And the pressure gradient can tighten as funnels through passes and canyons, and that's what those concerns are for. Again, this is exactly what the fire weather forecaster was talking about, matches exactly with my forecast here of these east and northeast winds, essentially 6 to 12 miles per hour, but gusts to 20 and 30 overnight. Exactly a fit with what he was talking about in the same sort of story in Ventura and Los Padres for us, with some of the gusts up a little bit higher than that. If we could kill the 6-7 day forecast at the bottom, it's going to cover up some of the information here. Ventura County, Thursday, northeast winds 15 to 30, gusting to 40 and 50 miles per hour. The low pressure, though, is passing to our north on Friday. So what that's going to do is going to turn the winds around Friday through Saturday, northwest, back in Santa Barbara County, 15 to 30 with higher gusts there. So that's a new wind direction. That's a reinforcement of pace. It happens as early as Thursday in Ventura County, and again Friday through Saturday across Santa Barbara County. We talked about old burn areas in that press conference that we were in. Okay, the Zaca fire burn area is on the northwest flank of that fire, back out along the Santa Ynez River drainage, and that is one of the areas they are hoping to slow growth once it gets out there. It's going into area that burnt 10 years ago, back in 2007. Also, there's been growth out toward Montecito and north of Montecito. That's where the Ray fire burn area is. So that's sort of a natural backfire, if you will, in terms of slowing some of the westerly growth. MODIS satellite today just identifying where the fire is. The hills above Carpinteria. It burnt out to Toro Canyon today. It's above Montecito, and it's on both sides of Camino Cielo, so it's also back in the back country a little bit. And there you can see, sort of as we sort of look up that Santa Ynez Valley, it's not out there yet, but it is in some of that rugged country out there, and I believe Megan Abundis is going to cover more so some of the concerns coming up in that area. The smoke did propagate into our area today yet again, but with some advancement in terms of the firefighting, we haven't seen as much smoke, but as you were talking about, it's really so thick on the south because it really impacted air travel and traffic trying to get some fixed wing drops today. Extended forecast, there's a trend downward with those northwest winds. The temperatures come down. The relative humidities will come up a little, not a lot. I wouldn't call it a major change in that area. And again, those overnight lows will be cold. The wind flow on average will not be particularly strong, but let's just go really quickly here through the forecast for tomorrow. Later on the show, I'll get the extended forecast. We're looking at temperatures right around 80 degrees through much of the area. Set a record in San Luis Obispo today for a record high, and again, we'll have more on that local forecast a little bit later on in the hour. Stay right there. Our continuing coverage right after this commercial break.
KSBY